Good afternoon. My name is Valerie, and I am presenting the strategy vocabulary inquiry across languages. According to the translanguaging guide, vocabulary inquiry across languages is a strategy that helps students develop the awareness that words have differences and similarities across all languages. Using this teaching method, our students can learn word origins, sounds, and meanings, not only in English or their own language, but other languages as well. And this builds their vocabulary, but it also gives them the tools that they need to empower them to discover and analyze new words. Why should we explore words in many languages? Because we want to support our students in understanding English, and we also want to help them develop their academic language skills while using their primary language. These are the common core standards that this strategy touches on. So, determine or clarify the meaning of unknown and multiple meaning words and phrases by using context clues, analyzing meaningful word parts, and consulting general and specialized reference materials as appropriate. Demonstrate understanding of word relationships and nuances in word meanings, and acquire and use accurately a range of general, academic, and domain-specific words and phrases sufficient for reading, writing, speaking, and listening at the college and career readiness level. Demonstrating independence in gathering vocabulary knowledge when encountering an unknown term important to comprehension or expression. Before we look at the example strategies and how to apply them at the elementary, middle, and high school level, let's look at the three aspects of vocabulary. So there are three main aspects of inquiry that we can look at. We can look at word or origin, which is the roots, the prefix, and the suffix. We can look at how the word sounds, which is phonetics. Or we can look at word usage and expressions, which means comparing and contrasting meaning in different languages. So, what is word origins? Etymology allows learners to discover that words have a history and how they change over time, shows the relationship between different languages. Learning the meaning of affixes across content areas gives them a head start in learning new words in their first language, as well as any other, not only in English. For example, when we look at the prefix RE, it has a meaning, right? It means again or back. And this knowledge helps learners decipher the meaning of words like replay, return, reboot, represent, or reconnect. Knowing that re means again, when they put it next to a word that they already may know, then they can put the two together, playing again, or to give back, returning to give back, reboot, starting again, restarting, presenting, representing, reconnecting. Another example of this that shows the relationship between languages would be comparing them from one language to another to see if they mean the same or if they are different. For example, replay in French is rejouer, and in Spanish is repetición. So you still have the re there, and it still holds true to mean the same in all the other languages as well. You also have word sounds, exploring how word sounds and how they compare and contrast with other languages helps learners build connections that improve their phonemic awareness and pronunciation. For example, here I have the word theme. In French, it is thème. In Spanish, tema. And in Portuguese, tema. So students can hear, and see the difference. We have the word metaphor in French, métaphore. In Spanish, metáfora. And in Portuguese, metáfora. So very often looking at the bigger picture helps them build those connections. You have audio apps when you don't have, when our students are on their own and they don't have someone to read out loud to them. They can use the Google Translate app or the Jibigo app that is an offline audio app that they can have on their phone, where they can hear the pronunciation of different words. Word usage and expressions. Different languages carry different expressions with different meanings. Figurative language can be a challenging concept to comprehend. Discovering idioms, metaphors, similes, and oxymorons across different languages can be enriching in so many ways. Here's an example of an idiom and how it changes over the different languages. All right, so I have 3 examples on how we can use vocabulary inquiry in elementary, middle, and high school. In elementary, you can use this graphic organizer, and I have provided a link here. Hope you can click on it to get your own, to get this copy here if you want to use this organizer, where students can put in different words and different languages. You can have them work in groups. You can have them work by themselves. And they can compare and contrast different vocabulary words. And this is what it looks like when it is filled out. In middle school, you can have them during independent reading, you can have them keep a word journal that shows they can identify cognates, what a word can remind them of a different word in their own language, words that sound familiar, that look familiar, and then they can share, their peers can share information, and they can gather their findings. And for high school, a good tool to use would be the Google spreadsheet, where you can use multiple different vocabulary words that are grade appropriate, and you have the translation in the different languages. They can compare and contrast different meanings. They can see the suffix, prefix, suffix. They can also see if it's the same in many languages, or they can note the differences. And of course, if every student has this, they can also note their findings and share their findings together as a class or with a partner. And this was my presentation on vocabulary inquiry. Thank you.